So hello and welcome to the first estimation using Little Estimator Student version 1.0. Now, after going out on the road, basically, you get a sheet like this with the phone call or email. You can print it out and go crazy, but basically you get a sheet with what kind of work needs to be done about. Now this changes obviously when you go on a call, and then when you come back with the material. When you're on site, what you do is you're going to write down all the different things that you need. Now, from my experience, this is the way I did it most of the time. And sometimes I would take pictures, and then I would make a list of the material I need from looking at the pictures, so I can kind of be more efficient. But you get back to the office, and then you have to enter it into software. Now, there are still many people that do this manually, where you're going to take the papers that were written on site, the notes with all the different material, this, that, the other thing, and you're going to basically add prices if you space it out enough. I obviously did not. This is not useful for anything. But if you spaced it enough, you can write down the prices. And I mean, I've done this where you have 20 or 30 items on a piece of paper, all kind of crunched together, and you're calculating all that accurately. I mean, those are places where errors can be made very easily. So anyways, I'm going to take this estimate that I went out and I took a look at, and I'm going to use Little Estimator software to basically put it together. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open, before that, after the installation, you're going to have two extra things on your desktop. Now, anybody that has a cluttered desktop, you're not going to like this, but you don't have a choice. So one of them is going to be the icon that starts the program. It's also going to be in the start menu. Let's see, recently added, and it should be somewhere here. Little Estimator, there we go. So we have the icon that starts the program, and we have over here a folder. Inside that folder is your database, is right there. This database can be opened with a database tool that opens SQL databases. And this folder here contains all of the other folders. Okay, so as I was making this program, I got creative in my testing data, so I left this all for anybody that wants to play with it, where we have the chickens and the cows. I mean, I was playing with anything. Like a picture was a picture, and there's a lot of frustrating days that happen when you code. Okay, now this program is not very big, but it's very powerful. So okay, so this is where you would put your pictures. You'd be able to pick them out from anywhere, but this would be the place that I would recommend that they go, but they could be anywhere. Okay, so we double click on Little Estimator. It opens up right away. I'm going to show you there's one place that we take a look, and this is the estimator. All of the data that you have, that you're going to see, this is all fake. Okay, I made it up. I even looked online for data. This was something for fake addresses that was made up, or like a random address generator. And I found the place in big letters on this site that tells you that this is all, fabricated. And it looked so real though, but it was great. That then after a little while, I said, wait a second, I'm going to check some of these things. And I used the standard, lookups, yellow pages and white pages. And lo and behold, these people are real. This is all real stuff. So what I did, my data is all fake, fake, fake. Okay, now what's important in this page is this is where your percentages are. These are the default percentages that come up when little estimator starts up. Okay, so you put what your administration is. There's a fees, permits. We used to have 1.5%, but not all jobs. There were certain jobs that have to be a percentage paid to the regulatory authority. And there was then we had our material, our labor, and rental and service percentage. So when we would rent something, we would put a 10% extra on it. This was the kind of like the cover going to get it and the stuff that we did with it. Okay, so this all stays this way. This usually I have that at 20. I had it at 21 because I was just testing things. So we update, exit, and now we don't have the 21 here, but if we close this and then open it, and then we have the 20. Okay, so now the estimate that I have over here, I have done it already. I'm going to show you how we're going to find it. Okay, so I click search. I could have entered the estimate number right there and then, because one thing that I really like is that there is a separate, like a place. Usually there's in an office, there's usually a place where you have a book and you write down all of the things that come in, as they come in. I mean, some companies have packages that come in, so they get kind of like written in and registered, and it's still written down. We still don't have it with that scanning, not yet. I hope it never comes in. As much as I like technology, I don't think we're going in the right direction. So let me show you how the estimate was put together. So here we found, because there's just one. So there you go, it opens up. So the one estimate that I had for this client was in 4 sections. And this is the best way I found to estimate jobs, was to chop it up into pieces. So we would have one section was the 3-way switch to go downstairs. Another section was the 3 LED pot lights. Oh, that changed to 4 LED pot lights, center light for a fan, okay, with a switch on the wall, and in the outside to change two outside plugs and to put bubble covers. Okay, so this one has to be 1. This was also for testing, and there we go. So now I'm going to go on page 1, and here we have all of the material that I needed with the hours. One thing that this program allows me to do is that I'm not 100% dependent on the database. So that means that I can write in whatever I want in these grid lines, and the software is going to remember it. With the exception of, well, remember it, this line here where there's supposed to be a category, manufacturer, and supplier, if you don't write anything in, it's going to write that to fill it as a space, because I was having trouble with my database. So this is something that may get removed soon. Okay, this program is not 100% finished in that everything works, almost everything. The only thing that's not finished that should be, which would make it like really good, is the printing routines. So the printing routines are partially done, and I'm going to show in a later video on how much of that is finished. So one of the reasons that I'm doing this this video, basically showing the work that I did. This was a very long time job. This is weekends, evenings, vacation, holidays. Every moment that I was able to get off, I was working on this coding. And it came out that it's almost 40,000 lines of code that I did. When the printing routines will be done, it'll be over that. The printing routines are very intense on code. So what I'm going to do, here's we go back to top sheet, we look at the other page. What I did with this software is I went and I wanted something that can remember things for me, but I also wanted something that I can write what I want in it, and that it would also handle labor in association with the material. And sometimes you would have labor and sometimes you wouldn't have labor. Sometimes you would have material and sometimes not. It would be together or not. And a lot of the softwares, the ones, well, they didn't work exactly the way I would have liked it. So I made this to work exactly the way I think it should work. So what I'm offering is I'm offering that you email me. Okay, I'm going to leave an email in the description or somewhere, and tell me if you're interested in reviewing the software, using it. I mean, it does work quite well, and it's a very good teaching tool, because if I go here for this material and I click on it, it shows me a picture of the material. I mean, that's pretty damn cool. I also have assemblies, which I'm going to show in a later video. In this video, I think it's going to be it. I'm going to keep it at just a demo of how it worked. I mean, I can take, for example, this price out. Okay, so that doesn't exist, the labor portion. And I can save it. It'll come back in the same way. This will not be there. But if I chose to bring it back, I just enter and it'll come back, because it'll go get it from the database. So I can make any kind of like modification that I want, and it just kind of keeps on working. Okay, so now that's going to be it for this video. I didn't show how the estimate is done. This is basically the whole thing was already done because I tried it out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to do another video, and this is going to be the step-by-step on how to use the searching functions that I have, because I can you click here and you can search for material with pictures. So if I'm searching for wire, let's say, you know, we can have this. Okay, there's some no pictures. Oh, my backwards button didn't work. I'm gonna have to fix that. So there are still some things that don't work 100%. Let's see if I can get that to work. And then it goes back. Okay, so I'm gonna fix that. So let's gonna take this. I double click, and the wire comes out here. I can put my quantity as, let's say, 55 meters, and I accept, and there you go, and all my prices are updated. I go back to top sheet, and here's the summary of everything in the estimate, and I have all my prices per job. I can also, in the page, if I find that there is the hour total is not enough, like total hours is 188, so I increased the difficulty, so I got more hours. Because I mean, in a sheet, when you go to look at work, when you're there, you usually, you usually write down somewhere a little note on how many hours you think it's going to take when you're there. So you're like, you're there, you can, you can feel the situation. So anyways, okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to do this estimate one step at a time with all the 4 pages. So we can see, so you're going to get an idea of how the searching is done and how much actual time it takes. So let me close this, and we're going to save, and then we can exit. And there we go. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.